Hey guys, Laura here again from Budget Music Videos. So today I'm actually going to show you quite an interesting music video that I did for a client called Sakina. She is a Punjabi singer, and basically she came to us asking us to do a very glamorous music video. Tends to be when we work with women that they love the big hair, the big makeup, you know, the big, lots of costumes, and they want to just have it all going on in their music video. It's a bit more glamorous, which is really great for us because we get something quite interesting, quite colourful, and quite well thought out. Sakina thought out her entire music video to the fullest, with every costume, every hair and makeup, every piece of jewellery. So that's why this music video turned out so well, was her thought process. The locations for this particular video were down on South Bank, which is just beside Westminster, in around the London Eye and everything down by the promenades down there. So if you're wondering where the locations are, I mean, it's not rocket science, it's central London. Obviously filming down there can be problematic, as long as you're filming hands-free and you're not, you know, dropping tripods and full-on lights and things like that. We can go down there with reflectors and a DSLR and film away to our heart's content. I think there were a few moments where we were moved on, the crew were moved on, told to move by security or whatever, but in general the video was quite a good one. They filmed at places like skate park, up on the bridges, in around museums and things like that, and in a car park, I think, for one of the car scenes. So quite an interesting video. I'll just show you some of the shots here from the raw footage. Oops, not that one. Where you can see lots of different outfits and jewelry and lots of different things. Her shoes, everything had to be recorded. Great angular shots up on the embankment bridge. And then obviously we did a colourful shot in the skate park down there, where it's all lovely graffiti, and we got the dancers in, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. And then we did some silhouette type stuff as well. And then we also had a Hummer car, which was used, it was supposed to be, you know, she's a celebrity, she's getting out of the car, she's got her bodyguard, and that was the whole idea really behind it. And then she sings in front of the car. And then we catch her walking along, and she's got fans coming to get her signature and all those kinds of things. So basically, in a nutshell, this was quite a glamorous shoot. Now you can see from my timeline here that it's a lot. There's a lot of shots, a lot of footage, a lot of effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play you a little bit of it. It might stutter a little bit because there's quite a lot of shots in this particular video, but hopefully it'll play smoothly for you, just to give you an idea. Yeah, it's quite a intense video. See, it's loading. It's loading. Oh, here it goes. Okay, it's not playing smoothly for me right now. It'll play smoothly eventually. It just goes through its wee moments where the computer goes, wait, there's too much stuff going on here, and there's too many effects, and there's just too many flashes and overlays, and there's a lot. And then there's skin touch up as well, so that's what's slowing it right down at the minute, is that something I do at the very, very end is skin touch-up. So on all the close-up shots, there would have been loads of skin touch-up. So it's completely slowing the whole thing completely down. It's impossible for me probably to do a playback. But at this point, I would never do touch-up until the video's been approved and, you know, the client is happy with it. So what I'm showing you now is the final video that we went for, with all the shots and the colour and, you know, and everything that she decided on for the video. So obviously, there's no real storyline here, but I did sort of lay it out in the sense of what I thought would work. So it sort of starts off with her coming in, and she's walking in and she's just posing. Then it goes into, I think for the first chorus is all the dancing stuff. I think the dancing really needed to come in early. and then it progresses on, and there's still bits of dancing right throughout and more posing. And then I kept the actual shots with the car, with the Hummer car, for later on, where the actual bridge of the song, it breaks down. I just thought that the shots where she pulls up in the car were better when the music slowed down. So it actually doesn't come in until about 1.5 minutes in, which is not too far. And then we see all these great shots of her getting out of the Hummer, and you see her feet and her shoes getting out of the Hummer, and she steps out, and it's all very glamorous. And then we see the shots of her singing in front of the Hummer come in after that. And then further on, then we got another costume change, and then we got the fan shots where the fans come in, and the fans are like, yay, hey, check out, and she gives him their autograph and selfies and things like that. So that's pretty much the layout. There were 5 costume changes in this particular shoot, so I tried to space them out and give them all their time on screen, if you want to call it. Obviously picking out my favorite shots. I think this was definitely one of my favorite shots, where she's just very gentle and quite her face and her posture is very great in this particular shot. So it's one that I use quite a lot. The other one would be this very last shot here towards the end, which is all this sort of stuff, which is a very, very nice shot as well. Not necessarily that, but yeah. So all these kinds of shots were great as well. And then obviously syncing the dance shots all in together, so the dancers and all the dance moves and the dance routine all comes together, from the close shots to the wide shots and everything else as well. So if I expand it out for you as well, I can show you. I'm actually going to just bring in the actual music video itself, because it's not playing, so you can see the actual final video that we came up with. If you give me 2 seconds and I'll find it. Look how many projects I work on a day-to-day. As you can see, there's many. I'm not even sure which one it is, but we'll have a look. Okay, it's that one. The reason I don't have it here is because I actually just upgraded my software and there's nothing in it, and I only just started using my new software, so I don't have anything to show. So this is the final video. I'll show it to you very quickly. Loads of movement, loads of shots, lots of little effects. Lots of movement to the music. Skin touch up. Gorgeous. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's a very typical sort of pop video, if you want to call it pop music. Although it's Punjabi music, it's a poppy kind of song. It's very commercial. It's very current. It's very, 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 very feminine, if you want to call it. And obviously there's loads of shots. So as you can see from my timeline, there's a lot of shots. There was a lot of shots going on. So right from the very beginning, if we go to the beginning of the timeline, you can see bum 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 bum, where it goes, it jumps, yeah. And what that is, that shot there, where it's not actually jumping to another shot, it's jumping to like an overlay. This particular shot, it's overlaying it, which is this shot. So you've got your main shot, which is her in behind, and then this lovely little overlay shot. So all I did there was chroma key it. You know, it's very easy to do. If you go into options on your shot, mask and chroma key it, and all you're doing is applying it and setting your settings, whatever you think you need to do. Obviously, I have it at 99. If I took it down to 50, it would be stronger, and then, you know, it wouldn't be visible the way I have it at the minute, which wouldn't be much good. And I think my computer has died for a second. Oh, there it is. So so you can see the difference, making it at 50 to making it at 99, you know, and I always just play around with this until I get it the way I want it. So, and I could have faded it more. I could have, you know, made it much more transparent by doing that if I wanted to, but I didn't. I just kept it as it was because I liked it just the way it was, and it came in really nice. So that's those first stuttery shots that come in with the beat and they go bam, 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 bam. And then these kinds of shots, I mean, for the actual getting it this particular shot here, let me just see. I mean, I've done color grading on it, so I've added like, you know, like a film tint, and then I've played around with it until I've got it the way I want it. I think I'm probably played around with the gamma a little bit because she didn't want it so strong. I actually wanted it to be very vibrant and very strong with blacks and the strong colors, but she hated that. So she requested that her skin was really light and that it all looked very light and quite I don't know how to explain it. So I had to sort of I brought the gamma up, as you can see there, just to make it a little not as strong as what it was, because I wanted it to be like really fierce, sharp colors like that, you know, just for example's sake. But she wasn't keen. She wanted it to be a lot less and wanted it to be sort of sunshiny and that kind of look, if you want to call it. So that was the sort of color we went for with the gamma, and then obviously in my color grading, I obviously played around with lots of different things as well. Then in the way of putting it together, I mean, sometimes it's experimental. You know, as you can see, I've got 3 or 4 lines going on here. You know, and obviously I've put shots in and then I've put more shots in. Now these extra shots here underneath, 2, 3, 4, that you can see are actually the effects shots. So you can see it's the same shot above and the same shot below, but the shot below is the effect. Now what I did is like what I call it color shift. It's the most silly thing in the world, but what is good about using it is that if you can make it as discreet as possible, so it's not obvious, you know. So that's how I did it. So what I do first of all is I copy the shot and copy it down. Then what I do is I add the color shift, and sometimes what I do is add monochrome as well, and then it takes the colors away, and then it's just flicking the black and white sort of thing. I would do that sometimes. So then you add the color shift, which is somewhere here, which is here, this one. And there's so many options with it as well, which is great. So you can have it color shift in different ways. It's just a simple way of adding like a little effect, but I don't like it to be dominant. So there's lots of different variations. Now, the way I make it not dominant is by, so that's how it is if it was full color, yeah? Which I think is not really cool. But I mean, it depends on the video. Sometimes I've done it like that. It depends on the video. This particular video, all I did was then take the second shot, and the reason I did 2 shots and not just put it on the original shot, so I could overlay it. So what I did was I mask chroma keyed it again. I removed out this particular color here. I set this to 70 and this to 50. So the shot is very faded, very, very faded. So when it comes in, it's barely, it's almost like just a little green tint. So it's not as strong. And it's very hard to see. My computer is not going to play this because there's so much touch up on it, and that's why. And I can't remove it because the video is finished and I don't want to be taking off my effects at this point. So basically, yeah, so that's how I did the effect. You see in the video where it flickers with a little, you know, when you see the color flick. So if I just find it for you, starts from about 7 seconds. There you go. See it? Boom, boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. So instead of it being, there you see just a little tinge of green in it. Instead of having those real vibrant colors, so by overlaying it, it just completely eliminates it right out, but still gives you that little bit of an effect. So I've done that there for 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, and I've actually done it throughout the video, just every now and again, but not too much, just when the music's sort of getting a bit mad and a bit fast. So that was another effect I did. Another effect I did in the video, so that's the color, that's the little flicky effect. There was some shots that I added just a bit of shake to, because I felt, and I mean literally it was about 3 shots in the whole video. There's a shot with one of the dancers where the dancer spins, and there's just a little, and a shot when she's walking as well. And I just added a little bit of shake. So on my software it's called Active Camera, and by adding that, it just made the shot move from side to side. I can't remember which shot it was, but I did do it, and it just gave it just that little bit extra edge. I did actually originally have it on a lot more shots, but the client didn't like it too much, so I removed it. But there is about 3 shots in total, and it just, you know, when the beat goes dun, 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 it just means you can put in a shot with a little bit of shake, and you're not having to put in 30 shots. you know, you can put in one shot, give it a little bit of a shake, and boom, it works, as long as it's coming in fast enough and it's not there for like forever wasting time. I would usually use it on dance shots because I think it just gives the dance shot just a little bit more movement. So if I'm not doing panning, then I'll give it a little bit of active camera. So that was that effect as well. And then the rest of it is mainly just chopping it in and just giving it musicality. Sometimes when I'm watching something, there's the color effect that I did, you know, you can see it halfway through. It's kind of not quite there. Sometimes I just find you can do a bit of video panning, something very simple, like the shot just moving in, like a slight, this one had active camera on it and I've removed it. Sometimes just doing something simple like a video pan and it's just going in a slight amount really improves sometimes just the movement of a shot. So for example's sake, video pan, if we go here. So if I drag video pan onto there, it does it automatically, but you don't want that. It does it too much. But if we customize it, and generally for anything 1080, you know, I never do this more than like a 10%, 15% at max. So there's my shot, there's where the shot will start, and where the shot will end, I could have it end somewhere there, but not as much as that because that's just too much. And then make sure it's within, maybe just in a little bit, and then boom. You know, and by adding that to that shot, just made that shot move, you know? Something so simple, it's only a little tiny, and you're only moving it like 10 or 15%, not more than that, because then you start to lose quality. And by doing that, you've just made that shot look really cool. It's the simplest technique in the book. And you could do it reverse as well. So you could do it, you know, it's moving in to out, you know, so the shot moves in and then goes out, and it would be like this. So it looks like it's coming from her and out whenever you play it. So yeah, it's a great little technique that a lot of people use. The great thing is 1080 HD, you can only do that so much. You can't do that too much because it can ruin the shot. But if you're working in 4K or 2K or anything like that, then fucking tear on. Oh, pardon my language. Tear on, because it's not really going to affect your footage at all. I'll just take that off. Thank you. Goodbye. So yeah, so moving on, if we go down, you'll see like the shots coming in fast. I think this particular shot, I used video pan, and it makes you think that the shot is actually moving. There's one of these shots, I can't remember which one it is, where it's actually, it goes bam, bam, bam with the shots, and then, but it looks like it's moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in. And all I did was video pan the quick shots. It looks really, really awesome because it just goes in time with the music really well. But it looks like the shot is moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in, you know, and then flicks out, flicks out, flicks out. And that's all just done with video pan. It's the simplest thing in the world. And what you can achieve with something so easy, it just gives your shots movement, especially when the shots are short and quick. Then this particular section here, you can see that's like boom, boom, boom. Now that's the same shot, as you can see each time she's moving just a little bit. And what I've done, that's one shot that I have broke down into several pieces and tried to make it in time with the music. And what I've done there in particular is make sure that the shot doesn't like take out of it. So it's a continuation. Each shot is a continuation. So this shot, if I put it next to it, it would be the same shot, if you know what I mean. It's a continuation. It's not like they're, you know, random pieces out of the shot. It's so when you watch that back, it's just flowing like one shot, but it's coming in so fast in between this dancer shot. It looks really, really good. I'll show you that in the actual final. It's at 40 seconds. If I can just scroll this to 40 seconds-ish. Okay, so watch from about here and you see it come in. So it looks like one shot in the background. Even though it's split into all these different things, it looks like one shot. So then, let me just move forward. There's some of this where, you know, where we did like, you know, the re-edits and things like that, where some of the shots, basically we have just, you know, replaced what was there before because maybe the client didn't like it and things like that. So sometimes that's why I have like 4 layers. It's not because I'm a weirdo and I'm really messy. Like this particular shot here has obviously been put in because she didn't like what was there before. A lot of the time shots that are down here have been the re-edit shots. I wouldn't, when I'm doing a re-edit, I would never, ever, ever remove what I had done before. Because when a client comes to me and asks for a re-edit, you always put the new shots in there, no matter what they are, no matter what it is. Put the new shots in your bottom line, because then that keeps you clued into what you've done. And then it avoids arguments, which happen a lot. But no, they don't really. But it just keeps you right, because if someone says to me, oh, I asked you to do this, and you'll be like, yeah, I did do it. And they'll be like, no, you didn't. I'll be like, well, on my timeline, I put this shot in and you told me to replace it from that shot. So I can see on my timeline, I did do it, you know. So it keeps yourself right as to what you've amended and what you've fixed. And a lot of these shots are probably amendments. This one here in particular, you can see it was an amendment. It was a wide shot before, and then I replaced it with a close shot instead for whatever reason. So that's how you keep yourself right sometimes when it comes to editing amendments and things like that. And then, you know, when I'm doing this and I'm chopping it in, the musicality part of it, where you're putting in loads of shots, you know, and you're getting it right in that sense, you know, putting in these sometimes doesn't come until the end, until I've blocked it all in. And sometimes I go back and I go, right, we need to put in an effect there. We need to put in an effect there that goes bam, 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 bam with the music. And you can see I've come back and I did this. I remember doing this actually near the very end, some of this stuff, because I tend to focus on the first minute of the video to figure out the layout and to figure out the style of the video and how it's going to be. And then the last two minutes, then after that, I tend to block it in quite quickly and then go back and do all the effects and all the bits that I need to do that follow in line with the first minute. I tend to find that when you figure out what you're doing in the first minute, then it should be a continuation throughout the whole video. I hate watching videos where in the first minute you get a clue and it's great and it's all about this girl in a white studio or whatever, and then all of a sudden it goes to something completely different and it doesn't make sense, and it's, you know, completely random. The style of the video, the style of the edit, random things coming in, you know, really bad effects coming in, things like that. So in my first minute, it's always the most important, because I set down all the effects, I set down all the style of the video, the momentum, the speed, everything in the first minute. And then I sort of repeat it, if you want to call it, throughout the whole video, except obviously, you know, there's different shots and different costumes and different locations and all that there, but the style of the shots and the way we've put them together with the little effects and all that, see all these effects, is very important, you know, throughout, and that it's a continuation, so the video flows. So yeah, I mean, Sakina's video in essence is a very choppy video. You can see, like, and these take time, and you can see that's a follow-through shot where it's one shot, but it's been chopped into lots of little pieces, and it's her bringing her hands down, and it's a brilliant little shot, and it looks really, really good. So yeah, so I think as well, when you're doing videos like this, you gotta be really, really good at selecting good footage, especially when you're working with women. Women are much more fussy than men, so we gotta make sure that we know the beauty shots and what makes them look good and what makes the angles of the makeup. Makeup's so important, and making sure that, you know, everything is on point, especially when you're working with a woman. So yeah, so this is it in a nutshell, what I did for this video. I mean, there's not much more I can tell you in that sense, because I say to everybody, I could talk to you about this all day and what I've done, but you know, and you can learn from me to a certain extent, but in my opinion, the best way to learn is get out there and just practice and practice and practice. That's the only reason I know how to do this stuff, is because I practice, and I can do it fast-ish, you know, is because I've done it so many times. And it's like second nature when I'm sitting doing stuff like this. It just comes so quickly and so easily. There's just no hesitation, you know, and I just do it. Boom, boom, look at this, look how many chops there is there, you know, and I sit and I individually do this, so it's time consuming. So what I do is I pick the shot, and this is a continuous shot, so there you go. You can see that's an actual shot. It's moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. So what I do is I take the first part of the shot that I want, I copy it, paste it, I drag it out. As this is a continuous shot, then I'll only drag it to there, then I'll move it to where I need it to be, I'll chop it back down, boom, that's my shot, you know, and then do the same thing over and over and over. Very, very repetitive, but that's how you do it, you know. The great thing is working on things like DSLR, I mean, it's much easier than if you're working on big cinematography cameras or 2K or 4K. I mean, this sort of footage is quite easy to work with, and you can edit like this. It's a whole different ball game. If you want to try and do an edit like this on 4K footage, you will struggle. Unless technology catches up very, very quickly. At the minute, it's much easier to edit something that's 1080 than something that's been filmed in 4K, unless you compress the footage right down, which, you know, is totally up to you. But yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. That's the video, and I'm going to play it for you so you can see it. I'll just play the video from scratch and you can see all the effects.
गुलाबी लिपस्टिक लगा के प्यार होके फंकी जे क्लब्स पाके सैटरडे नाइट असली क्लब नु जाके आज नचना लेदर जैकेट उतार के माकती गुलाबी लिपस्टिक लगा के प्यार होके फंकी जे क्लब्स पाके सैटरडे नाइट असली क्लब नु जाके आज नचना लेदर जैकेट उतार के stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani uchi heel paaki stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani me London di rani me London di rani me London di rani Sakina ki se colony yo jaldi सारे जोन चांद में की कर दी मैं अपनी धुन विच रहंदी किसे ने यो कुछ नहीं यो कहंदी सकीना की से कॉलोनी यो जल्दी सारे जोन चांद में की कर दी मैं अपनी धुन विच रहंदी किसे ने यो कुछ नहीं यो कहंदी stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani uchi heel paaki stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani me London di rani me London di rani me London di rani me dil di rani teri dil di rani mundiyan kol me dur jandi me dil di rani teri dil di rani stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani uchi heel paaki stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani uchi heel paaki stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani uchi heel paaki stylish core cut ke sare menu kende me London di rani
And that's it. In a nutshell, it's pretty much, there's not much more to tell you than that. So if you really want to learn how to edit, please guys, just practice and practice and practice. You know, it doesn't have to be a full length video, but you know, a minute will do. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.